These are this afternoon's top stories. Man struck by vehicle dies at hospital. Bahamas police investigate high school security guard shooting. And yellow protest umbrellas return to Hong Kong streets. Good afternoon and welcome to ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Monday, 15th June 2015. I'm Kyla Berridge. In national news, members of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force are currently investigating the circumstances that led to Lockton Lake being killed. While information surrounding the incident is still sketchy, ZIZ News has confirmed that Lockton Lake, also known as Andy, was struck by a motor vehicle around 7 p.m. on Sunday in Newton Ground. He was transported to the hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. The police force, particularly Assistant Commissioner of Police for Crime, Ian Creeley, has recorded appreciation to the members of the general public for their assistance in the arrest of Cardi Stapleton. On Saturday, 13th June, at about 2:55 p.m., police officers acted on information that said Stapleton, who had been wanted by the police since June 9th, was seen in a vehicle in the Frigate Bay area. An operation was conducted in that area and on the Southeast Peninsula, and Stapleton was apprehended and taken into police custody. Cardi Stapleton is said to be of Taylor's Village. CPL excitement will be in the air this week as the newest franchise team, St. Kitts Nevis Patriots, welcomes many of its top stars to the country. With training set to begin this week, Coach Eric Simmons and player Tabriz Shamsi will arrive at the Robert L. Bratcher International Airport tonight, and of course our cameras will be there to speak with the cricket enthusiasts. Other players are due to arrive in St. Kitts later this week, and a launch is being planned for this Friday in the capital city of Bastia. The St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots will join the Jamaica Talawas, the Guyana Amazon Warriors, Trinidad and Tobago Red Steel, Barbados Tridents, and St. Lucia Zouks in the third edition of the Caribbean Premier League. CPL 2015 bowls off on June 20th and will run until July 26th. ZIZ Broadcasting will provide coverage of all matches as the company is the sole holder of CPL broadcast rights in St. Kitts and Nevis. U.S. Councilman Ken Clifton, who was the featured speaker of the People's Action Movement's 50th anniversary convention, has joined other world leaders in praising the country's Prime Minister for his leadership style.
From what I understand from my friends throughout the Caribbean, and from what I have personally observed, Prime Minister Harris is quickly emerging as a respected and influential leader. And from all accounts, Dr. Harris's impact on the region has been both immediate and drastic.
During his address, Clifton also had high praise for Honorable Sean Richards, PAM's leader, and the Right Honorable Sir Kennedy Simmons, the country's first Prime Minister. We'll have more on Sunday's convention in our major newscast. I look at news on the regional scene. In St. Lucia, a new batch of beach rangers have been trained and will begin patrols at a Grand Ants Beach in an effort to deter turtle poachers and sand miners. Jenna Ann Gaston reports.
The Debarra turtle and nesting tours has been a source of income for members of the Barbano community for many years. Through time, the tours have had to suffer due to the slaughtering of leatherback turtles at the Grand Anse Beach. This unique species journeys to the island to nest up to 5 to 7 times during the nesting season, making St. Lucia's Grand Anse Beach one of the most popular nesting habitats on the island for the sea creature. This is why a number of young people have signed up to become beach rangers to patrol the beaches every night to ensure that these nesting grounds for the turtles go uninterrupted. The rangers underwent a number of training activities and are now certified to protect the beach.
One of the very critical things for us was to find a way to stop or curb the turtle slaughtering, and out of that initiative we have a couple of young people who are unemployed from the community joining what we call the Beach Rangers program, and basically what they do is patrol the beach at night, which is really when the turtles come up to nest. this has rewarded us tremendously.
The rangers are now equipped with the knowledge and tools to safely manage and protect themselves at the Grand Anse Beach.
Building the capacity of the rangers. They are young people, and we thought it necessary, and the stakeholders thought it necessary that they needed some training. So they have done the first aid training course, and I'm very pleased that they all attended, they participated, including other officers from the various heritage tours, those who were selling tours, were able to come along with St. John's Ambulance Brigade and avail themselves to this training opportunity.
Already since the introduction of the Beach Ranger program, 4 small-scale tours have been reintroduced, with 4 more to come later in the months of June and July. For the DBS Newsworld, I am Jenna Ann Gastor.
Bahamas police are continuing investigations after a gunman wearing a school uniform opened fire on a security guard on June 10th. We hear more in this report.
An intense investigation continues into last week's shooting of a security officer at the L.W. Young Junior High School. Police Commissioner Ellison Greenslade updated the media on Friday on their probe into the matter. Commissioner Greenslade confirmed the incident was an isolated case and had nothing to do with the school.
It was on the outside, that is in a public space, and had an intended target. There was nothing indiscriminate about it. That shooter went to the school with a precise intent, and that intent, from where we stand, was directed toward the person that was injured. It is very unfortunate that the security officer, an adult, who's a custodian at that school, at that gate, was in fact injured. We're wishing him all the best for his recovery.
Now, while police have no significant leads yet, the top cop appealed to Bahamians who may have any information on the shooter's whereabouts to assist police with their investigations.
That shooter and his accomplices in. We are going to continue to look. We're exploring all avenues, all aspects of the investigation, and we're certainly encouraging our school principals and teachers to stay close to our officers that are assigned to schools. So that at the slightest indication of any problems, because most times, things happen and something is brewing prior to.
Internationally, yellow protest umbrellas have returned as several thousands pro-democracy campaigners have gathered on the streets of Hong Kong. It came days before a vote on the political reform package that caused widespread protests last year. More in this report.
Marching toward government headquarters, some in yellow shirts, others carrying yellow umbrellas. They've become symbols of a pro-democracy movement in Hong Kong. On Wednesday, a controversial political reform package will be presented to lawmakers. Beijing has proposed a direct vote for Hong Kong's next leader in 2017. But only pre-screened pro-Beijing candidates will be allowed to stand. Whilst it would allow direct elections for the first time, activists on the streets are labelling the proposals as sham democracy and are calling on lawmakers to reject the plans.
I expect and hope that they will give another proposal that can be accepted by the people of Hong Kong. It's impossible to run an election without Hong Kong's public opinion.
I feel dissatisfied and angry at how those in power and the Chinese Communist Party disrespect Hong Kong people.
Polls show citizens are still deeply divided, months after democracy activists paralysed Hong Kong last year during the Umbrella Movement, demanding greater voting rights. At its peak, this street occupation had more than 100,000 protesters demanding free elections. The turnout for Sunday's march was much lower than the 50,000 expected, but it's the first in a series of rallies this week. The Chinese Foreign Ministry has said the reformed proposal was in line with Hong Kong's current circumstances, taking into account the interests of and appeals from different social groups and sectors in Hong Kong. Lawmakers are expected to vote on the election reforms by the end of the week. Katerina Moe, BBC News.
Heavy flooding in the Georgian capital, Tbilisi, has killed at least 10 people, with officials warning people to stay indoors to avoid animals that have escaped from the zoo.
Heavy rains and wind hit Tbilisi on Saturday evening, turning a normally small stream that runs through the hilly city into a surging river. Several people have been killed by the torrents of water and dozens of houses damaged. One of the most severely hit parts of the city is the zoo. 3 zoo workers have died, and it's thought that up to half of the 600 animal residents may also have perished. Authorities have advised residents to stay indoors, as numerous animals have escaped their enclosures. An escaped hippopotamus seen wandering through the streets was eventually cornered in one of the city's main squares and subdued with a tranquilizer gun in front of a popular retail shopping store. Helicopters continue to circle the city looking for animals, while rescue workers keep searching submerged houses to check for trapped residents. Sophia Tran-Thompson, BBC News.
In the weather, today's skies will be partly sunny. Tonight, skies will be partly cloudy with isolated brief showers. Winds are east-northeast to east-southeast at 9 to 16 miles per hour. Temperatures are expected to reach a high of 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Seas are moderate with waves of 1.5 meters or 5 feet. Sunset today will be at 6:46 p.m. and sunrise tomorrow will be at 5:37 a.m. That brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carla Barrage.